Hey everyone, it's Bruno. I thought I'd be doing a fun video today, which is just talking about all of the games on Steam that are releasing on the same day as mine. And it's just like looking at what am I really competing against. So, I'm just going to go through all of them and give you my opinion. So, the first game is Cat's Contrast, and this is basically a spot the difference game. Yeah, it's actually fucking nothing. I would consider this basically a nothing game. The next one is Blitzball. Once again, okay, I know what the I forget what the original version of this name called, and okay, they're looking like it could actually be fun, but it's not a Steam game. It's like if you're releasing it for free just to kind of show that, oh yeah, I have made a game, then hey, actually that's cool. But once again, it's like I don't know, I'd actually if this game was free, I'd actually say I don't know what, it actually kind of has a fun premise to it. I actually think this one's going to get some plays. No joke, it's actually won me over slowly. The next one is going to be Slime Keeper. Alright, this is a fast-paced roguelite with unique decisions makings and intriguing player freedoms. This one actually looks like a real game. I think they've done a very good job with the pixel art. This one actually looks like genuinely kind of interesting. But once again, it's just like the question I've got is it interesting enough compared to everything else that is out on the market? I don't know, but I gotta say, I really do like what they've done with the art style here. I maybe this one's actually got some potential. I don't know. This is what I would also call definitely a real game. And it looks like we've got another real game here with the Inspector Schmidt. I know that one of the persons who commentated on my game also did a review for Inspector Schmidt, and so this one looks like basically it's a detective RPG. So, I don't know, it looks like a real game. Could be fun. Yeah, it's sort of like going to be one of those detective sort of first person or third person story driven. Yeah, this looks like a real game. So maybe ends up being kind of cool. Once again, it does look like we've got a lot of these real games here. Next, we've got Peppered. What a pretty art style this one's got. So let me see. It is a platformer where you can become a corporate slave or the god of death. I think the art style is actually pretty nice. So once again, this looks like a real game. Man, I thought I had picked a really good day, but I'm having all of these games be actual real games. These Chris Zuzowski was saying, yeah, most games aren't real games. I'm just like, there's a number of the games coming up at the same time that I'm doing it. These look like real games. Let's see if it eventually changes. All right, so can you make it, man? This really should be capitalized if you're doing capital case. I don't know why this is. This kind of looks janky. Thrilling 3D platformer where you jump Mighty Oak Mountain. Yeah, if this is like a rage game, then I don't know, maybe it could get ultra viral, but it just looks super. Yeah, no, this looks like somebody's first. Yeah, okay, it's a rage quit game. Yeah, it's like, oh, look how not serious we're taking it. I'm not seeing any potential of this one. Alright, the next game we've got is Archetypal Destroyer. Okay. It's not looking good so far. This looks... So, one of the things... Alright, let me see. It's first-person shooter and tower defense. Okay, so it's first-person shooter, tower defense game. So I guess this is trying to sell itself on the irony perspective, where hey, it's so bizarre and crazy that it's actually kind of fun. It just... The problem is it doesn't look like it's doing that in any particular unique way that would ever make me want to play it. So I'm not really sold on this one. Alright, we've got Cursed Dawn. Alright, this is a wave survival FPS. Okay, so I guess the big question is like, is this going to be better than what else is on the market? And it sort of looks like it's going to be okay, but at the same time, it's in a genre that's been done very well in the past. So I'm not really... Yeah, it's just going to be like, hey, it's a game I played before, but worse. I don't think this game's got too much of a future, and I'm sure that these guys have put in a lot of effort, but I'm not really sold on it. Blade versus Undead. Blade versus Undead. Okay, this looks awful. There's no video. Oh, wait, there is. Okay, this is a top-down survival shooter game where yeah, this is nothing. It's got no potential. It just looks awful and boring, and it's just like, okay. I see no potential in this one. We got the Ella Stars demo. So this is just a demo, and okay, it's one of those runners where you kind of have to cook. So beat and bash to rhythm with Ella and Bird. Help them beat bosses with an explosive fever time. Okay, that's a cool idea. I mean, whether the execution's gonna get them there, it's like a really... I gotta say, it's actually a really cool idea on the runner genre. Like, genuinely. Maybe the execution... I mean, if the execution can get them there, then maybe there's some potential, but I actually do think that the idea is really cool here. So, maybe good luck to them. Yeah, it's like... The animated cutscenes look good, but then some of the other bosses kind of look like... It looks inconsistent. So, I hope maybe some of them are just placeholder. I don't know. That one's actually got a cool idea, though. So good luck to them. Fortune Avenue. It's a competitive board game where players vote to shape their destiny. Transform caravans into 5-star hotels. So it's kind of like a spin-off Monopoly? I don't know. Maybe it's got some potential. Yeah, I'm definitely not the audience for it, but you know, it could be fun. Hey, I don't know. It does seem like they put in a decent amount of effort into this, so good luck to them, I guess. Well, the next one we got is Leica. Okay, this small, relaxing, incremental game about restoring a barren wasteland into a lush meadow. Help the magical wolf Leica run through the land. Okay. Yeah, not seeing it. Not really seeing it on this one. It just seems very minimalistic, and yeah, it's not looking super great. I'm not seeing it in this one. Alright, we got the Kitchen Sink Aloha. Alright, so it's a RPG Maker game? cozy story-driven cooking RPG set in Hawaii. Become head chef of your family's restaurant. Build a team of passionate chefs and dish up tasty Hawaiian food. Yeah, not for me. I mean, it looks like it'd be okay to play, and you got like a VN aspect to it. I don't know. Maybe there's an audience for something like this. I think though the big swaps between the art styles, maybe some people like it, maybe not. I don't know. And then we got Echoes of Elodria. Okay, we have got a platformer. And the problem is, it looks just okay in a genre that you need to be like excellent for it to be fun. Like, the only way you can really get platformers to sell is if you make a truly amazing game. And this one, it just looks like a really generic platformer with a bunch of stuff I've seen before. So yeah, I'm not seeing it with this one. And they probably put in a decent amount of effort into it as well, which is the kind of sad part. Oh well. Let me see. Shinobi match. Okay. Unleash your inner ninja in Shinobi match. A thrilling tile matching game. Okay, it's nothing. We're just gonna go buy it. Freebies. Okay, so this is a brick breaking. Reimagined with hexagons. Okay. So, yeah, it looks like, I mean, it looks really janky, to be honest. Yeah, it looks really janky. I don't think this one's got a lot of potential. Anti-shoot. Alright, so this is a first-person shooter, and it's a boomer shooter. So, let's see. Alright, so you can shoot to, like, jump and stuff, and yeah, it just... I've seen a lot of these games, and there's a lot of, like, really good boomer shooters. And this one just doesn't look like it's doing anything special. So the main thing is, like, do people who really like these boomer shooters, like, are they in constant demand for boomer shooters? Do they constantly want to play new boomer shooters? And I'm not necessarily convinced. Also, it's kind of making me sick, so I'm just gonna stop watching it. The Durama Challenge. Okay, this is another platformer where you're a bouncing ball, and it's kind of a rage game. It just doesn't look that interesting, to be honest. It's just like, we've been there before. It's just one of those games where maybe if it were released like 4 years ago, it would have been really interesting. But because these games are quite easy to make, it's just how many rage games do we really need in the modern landscape? I don't think that the audience for them is that vast. Like, if it's a really cool, unique concept, then I think these can sell. But if it's just sort of like, if it's not doing anything particularly interesting, then yeah, I'm not seeing it. Stealth Strike. Alright, so you gather up with 3 friends and sneak into a banks and shops to rob them. Avoid guards and camera to steal some barrels, but be careful, and once the cops show up, it's over. Alright, so this is... I think that the concept for this is like really cool, and this game is going to be entirely about execution and whether or not it's fun. Because I like the idea, and I don't know of a huge amount of games quite like this, especially with like co-op that can get really ridiculous. I don't know, it's like the idea comes across as pretty cool, but Yeah, this one's all going to be in the execution, and it looks smooth enough. So it's not obviously. I know. It's kind of one of those one, yeah, where you'd have to see what the reviewers kind of, if the reviewers even try and play this, like what they think of it. For her, let's see. All right, this is a story-driven psychological horror game, and I play as David Hill. So you've got a kind of janky shader to give off a particular graphical effect. And it actually kind of works, so it's very PS1 horror. I don't know. I'm sure that there's people who would really enjoy this. So maybe it ends up being what people want. It's not for me, but you know, there's potential here. It's a real game. Firefighters Together. Okay, so we've got kind of, it looks like a Unity game, which is that kind of like, it's that particular art style. And so you gotta act as co-ops, and it's kind of like a, yeah, the problem is that it kind of just looks a bit too janky even for, like, it looks like a cool concept, but it looks incredibly jank, which would be, and it's okay if like certain things are jank, but there's just like the key movement just looks like if you ever try to take it seriously, it's not gonna be that fun. I'm worried about the execution on this. It just looks a bit too jank for, it's like, it's a type of game where it has to be a bit jank for it to like, for it to be amusing. But once you make it too jank, yeah, I'm not sold on this one. All right, next we've got Fantasy Trader. Guide your trading posts in a dynamic fantasy world to riches and fame. So this looks like, you know, one of those classic crafty builder games. And I think it's just like, yeah, if you're into this game type of game, it could be cool. But you're gonna have to really look into the gameplay, and you're not gonna really get this from a trailer, unfortunately. So I don't know, it could be interesting. Let's look at Layla. Enter the world as an everyday woman as you explore her past in this point-and-click narrative game. Okay, that's a really cool art style. Yeah, this is a very artistic game, so I don't know. I reckon there's a chance this is gonna actually sell some stuff. It's got some interesting things. I can already see a lot of artistic merit with this game. It's not what I would want to play, but like once again, it's very, it looks pretty, but some of the animations are a bit kind of like jank and stuff because they had to I don't know, you can't have budget for everything, but this one looks actually kind of interesting from an artistic point of view. I don't know, I think that one's actually got some potential to gain some decent sales. Shape Brawl. Alright, yeah, this is a student project. I'm not gonna spend more time on it. Alright, we've got what kind of looks like yeah, maybe. Okay, it's got a voxel kind of world building, so it's a world building tower defense. Yeah, with destructible voxel. All right, I wasn't a big fan of how it looked originally, but some of the things it's trying to do is like genuinely quite interesting. Where with destructible voxel terrain, I actually think that's a pretty cool idea and spin on the tower defense genre. So maybe this game's actually got some potential here. It does look like it's using some AI art and stuff, but I don't know. It's the idea actually kind of looks like it's semi-interesting, so maybe it's got some potential. Let's look at Puzzle Dazzle. Okay. Wait, is it really? Haha, got you. It seems simple, but the challenges are mind-bending. Can you match them completing a yeah, I'm not convinced. It doesn't look that great. Sorry for the Smash Game Studios. 2D action roguelike. Yeah, this is and you got a very clear, alright, this is a nothing, this is like my first game. So there's not much to really talk about other than, like, alright, you made a game, great job. I've done one of those. That's totally fine. So that's Santa's Last Stand. Behind the Sword. Alright, we've got a cool 3D kind of world where you do blocks and stuff. It's a fresh take on the turn-based strategy genre, featuring a fast-paced approach to conquering the world. I gotta be honest with you, like, yes, this doesn't look good visually, but perhaps there's like some really interesting strategy behind it that certain people really like. I don't know, I've never seen anything like it before with like in the 3D sphere. And I played games with strategy around a 3D sphere before. So maybe this one's actually got maybe it's actually got some potential. I don't know, man. Probably not, but you know, if you can get players and then the gameplay's actually deep, there's some potential. Like, there are a bunch of these games where it's like, alright, this is only going to be good if the gameplay is like a 10. Battle Commander World War II. I've never really enjoyed these, like, tactical, like, these RTS, like, the tactics kind of games. And, I don't know, maybe there's something here. But I've tried playing a couple of these, and I haven't really enjoyed them. And, I don't know, it's just like there's a ton of people making these games, and I'm just not convinced that this one looks like it's any better than anything else that I could play. So I'm not convinced this one's got potential. Got Sissify, which is a casual strategy game about two players competing against each other to push their bowlers towards the finish line. So it's a competitive rage game. I mean, it could be good for a YouTuber, but I don't think it's going to translate well into sales. So, I don't know, good luck to them. It looks like they put in a decent amount of effort into, like, the creativity. I'm not, yeah, I'm not really sold on it, though. So, good luck for them. Alright, this one's just a soundtrack, so we're going to skip it. Heroes and Dice Demo. So we've got roll your dice and take action. Lead two heroes and possibly a companion as you face diverse enemies and challenge various... Okay, so it's kind of like... Okay, it's a card-based strategy game. It looks really basic. I don't know, it just seems like... Yeah, it just looks like a worse version of games that already exist. So I don't think this is any chance whatsoever. What's needed? Alright, we got an anime girl with a film shader that's being played in fucking Unity. Jesus Christ, dude. Can you, like, at least go full screen and compile stuff? We got basic text. This is very kind of stock asset, low effort. I'm not seeing anything within this. I'm gonna just close a couple more and get this back into the next couple of ones. Peacebringer. Let's see what Peacebringer is. So we've got to choose your party. Okay, we got AI generated people. And so it's an auto. Alright, so it's basically a vampire. It's a survivor's clone with. Yeah, it just looks like, once again, a worse version of games that already exist. It just doesn't look like there's anything particularly special about it, unfortunately. I mean, it's cool that they've got this like 2.5D thing going on, but once again, it's just like, I can play proven products. I can play a ton of really good proven products already within this genre. I'm just not seeing this one. Pixel Transit. Alright, so it's a game where you construct a transit system in an infinitely vast tile-based world. The goal is to design efficient transportation networks. So it looks very basic, but there are people who really like these sort of interesting sort of system games. Once again, I think that even for those people, the visuals are too basic for these types of games. So I don't know. There's like a extremely slim chance that this actually gets plays, but probably not. That's the reality of it. Alright, next we've got Counterclash. The Counterclash is a lighthearted, action-packed strategy game. So it kind of looks like a Flash game, which was one of the criticisms I got. And yeah, it's like, I think in the mindset, people just expect Flash games to be free. That's one of the problems that I face. But I mean, it actually looks like if this was on Newgrounds, I'd be really keen on playing it. And I don't know, it's kind of winning me over. It looks like it's got a pretty decent amount of strategy. I bet it looks like a genuinely somewhat interesting RTS game with an art style that I haven't seen in RTS games before. I don't know, this trailer's actually slowly winning me over. Maybe this one, and if it's slowly winning me over, maybe there's some actual potential here for it to be worth something. Maybe. There's a real game. Alright, next we've got another soundtrack. Next we've got Healed to Death, my game. So, I just went through a bunch of games that already exist, and yeah, it's a real game. That's what I can definitely say about this trailer. It definitely looks like a real game with a lot going on in the RPG mechanics space. I know I'm really proud of what I've made here. Healed to Death is a single-player roguelike where you play as the healer. Instantly, I kind of know what I'm getting. Like, I'm gonna be so biased towards my own game. But after watching all of those, all I can say is that I see a lot of real games. I am seeing, like, my apologies to Chris Kozowski, but I see a lot of real games. I don't see a lot of limited games. I see a lot of real games that actually seem to exist. And there's a lot of competition on Steam. Like, most of the games that I've seen have not been complete trash. Most of the games I've seen have had people putting effort into making them worthwhile playing, or potentially worthwhile playing. So I'm just not seeing the slop factor on Steam. Maybe it's because the real slop is all hidden away. It's all hidden away somewhere. But from what I can tell, there's a lot of real games that are launching on the same day as me. So I'm not exactly as comfortable as I once felt. Alright, next we got Deepest Dungeon. And gotta be honest with you, this doesn't look very good. It looks like you've got a bunch of store assets, and there's some effort. A lot of effort has been put into lighting and stuff, but it is kind of screaming out our studio's first game. So you venture into ever-shifting labyrinths, deepest dungeons, roguelike with extraction elements. Yeah, it doesn't look like it's gonna be... It just looks like it's gonna be an okay game. That's the thing. It's just like, I've seen games like this in the past, and I know what the standard is. So, I don't know, I'm just not... It doesn't excite me. Alright, the next game is going to be Game Day Mayhem. So this is, I believe this is going to be like free or something? I don't know. Anyway, it looked like a pixel art sport game. A goofy competitive two-player showdown, perfect for killing time while waiting for the pizza to arrive. I guess it's just like a variety of small games that you play versus the other person. I mean, once again, it seems like it's going to be an okay game in an era where okay is not good enough. So maybe, probably not. I'm not feeling that one. Next, we've got Dr. Plague. Alright, so where's a long shot? We got Pamphriel. I don't know who you guys are. Got a lot of theme and a lot of settings. Alright. In a world ravaged by plague, a lone plague doctor embarks on a journey to stop both the disease. This looks like an asset flip. Maybe a lot of effort's been put into it. How's this 2.5D as well? This looks full-on 3D. You know, maybe the gameplay is really cool. Maybe a lot of effort has been put in, but this does sort of look... Everything to me just screams out high-res particle effects and... Yeah. If anything in doing this has showed me is just how important art is with first impressions. And it's like, I do feel like my game is better than the majority of games that are like the vast majority of games that are releasing on the same day, but it's not by as big of a margin as I was hoping. Alright, the next one. I cannot believe this is coming out. Big Rigs Over the Road Racing. This is a game that is notorious for releasing broken. Like, it's basically a non-functional game. It's a meme. And I really hope that people don't play it. I really hope that people do not play this game. I really hope they don't buy it, because the guy who made this has made a number of games which many people consider to be scams. And of course we got the wonderful Your Winner. So we got the Metacritic of 8. Okay, well, I think what happened is that some guy paid for the rights and is now trying to sell it for meme value entirely. And I just know that people are going to be buying it as a joke. I really hope they don't, because I'm getting so sick of this kind of irony sort of meta where no one is genuine anymore. Everyone has to joke around and act like they can't stand by their opinions. Anyway, we're going to ignore Big Rigs. I wish it didn't exist, but wonderful. Alright, Junkyard Builder. This is, in Junkyard Builder, you are a proud owner of a once-forgotten junkyard, now brimming with endless potential. Dive into the satisfying world of restoration, recycling, and raw hustle as you transform trash into treasure and rise to become the ruler of the junk empire. So it's another Chris Zozowski crafty builder game. But this one actually, I mean, I gotta be honest with you. I can see this actually being somewhat enjoyable. Like, unlike most of the other simulation games that I've seen, this one actually isn't using like all the really obvious AI assets that's done. Like, yeah, it's gonna be like clunky and stuff, but I don't know. This one actually, I think, has a kind of a cool, unique concept that I haven't seen before. Whereas, like, I still think you kind of know what you're getting with this. Maybe it's a complete trash, maybe it's not. I don't know. I wouldn't play it, but it doesn't seem to be awful. And then finally, the other one is Imagine Earth Galaxies. So I think this is just DLC. Yeah, so it's DLC for a game that already exists. And this one looks like a real game. Yeah, this is DLC to a game that probably has a couple of sales and stuff. So, yeah, I don't know. Maybe it could be cool. I don't know. Anyway, let's just talk about what we saw. What we saw is a lot of real games. A lot of games which people have clearly put in a decent amount of time and effort into. And yeah, there's plenty of amateur stuff. My stuff is pretty amateur as well. But that is basically what I'm competing against on the 8th of April. And it's not complete slop. I was expecting things to be so much worse than they actually were. Like, the worst game on there is Big Rigs. Well, actually, not even true. There is some real just like, this didn't even deserve a Steam page. Like, even by my standards, even by Platform Gun standards. But maybe there are, I don't know. I think it's totally okay to make games like this. But at the end of the day, you want to be well within that, like, I had like, what, 42, 43, something, is above 40 games. And I think if you want any chance of standing out, you got to be in that, like, top 4 if you want attention, because, man, there are so many games coming out. I don't care if most games are limited and basically Steam doesn't give them any exposure whatsoever. I am just, yeah, no, I'm really of the opinion, like, no, the bar of quality is actually so much higher than most solo indie devs ever think it should be. You're going to have to spend a couple of years, well, maybe not a couple of years, but you're probably not going to want to try and make those 3-month games unless you're really efficient at making a particular type of game. I think you need at least a year's worth of development to make anything noteworthy. So, anyway, that's me going through my competition. I think my game is more interesting than most of them. Is it in the top 4? I don't know. I don't know if it's in the top 4, but I'm pretty happy with what I've made, and I don't have that much confidence that it's going to be a big viral hit unless the right people get it in front of their screens. And, you know, I've gone to all of the influencers in my Excel spreadsheet. I've added a couple more. Maybe it works out, maybe it doesn't, but this is all just part of game dev. And I really enjoy the journey, so if I fail, I'm going to do it all over again with a smile on my face. If I succeed, I'm going to be grinning ear to ear, being so happy that I get to do this as a full-time job. But otherwise, we'll see how we go. It's Brano. I am most likely going to keep my full-time job and do this as a hobby for the next game, but we'll see. Have a good one. Bye.